cause I be busting the dope moves. But the problem stay the same. How you riding for the cash when you ain't riding in my lane? Shorty all about a paper, so your mixture look the same. In the game I play the lane like Eddie Kane, cause I be busting the dope moves.
But everybody's culture wasn't the same.
What you mean by what the same?
Everybody wasn't connected. That's the point that we gotta understand.
Not everybody wasn't connected.
Right. So when you talk about just prime example, let's just use white folks for example. They the only ones who all of them, like 95% of them, come from Neanderthals.
Yeah.
Nobody else on earth is like that. Nobody else on earth is like that. And I mean, and that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing with the Semitic people or Afro-Asiatics, which is Semitic is just one version. So
that's not true.
It is just one version. You got Cushitic, you got Coptic, you got Berber. These is all Afro-Asiatics. This is what I was telling you before.
White people Berbers too, nigga.
I mean, there's people who could be Berbers that can look white.
Yeah.
They not necessarily white though. They got
okay.
And that's what I'm saying. They Afro-Asiatics. So when you break down Afro-Asiatics, you got to understand Eurasians ain't Afro-Asiatics. Afro-Asiatics is the people that came back this way, Paco, that come from the mixing that goes on from the Levant to India. That's not us. So we ain't. So I'm trying to tell you, when Hebrew Israelites argue and say we are Hebrew Israelites
from Levant to India,
yes,
that's Negro territory.
I'm explaining to you. At one time, it was multiple people's territory.
It was.
So what I'm saying to you is the Negroes, as you calling them, or the black people, or the Africans, as I call them.
As they were frozen beards.
But all of them didn't have that. That's just something you throwing on there. Pop, this is what I'm explaining to you. The Africans left out of that region and went towards India. When they got into that region, they started to encounter Mongoloids. They mixed with those Mongoloids. Thousands of years later, the offsprings of that mixing came back this way.
But you know, like the other group of humans I was telling you about that everybody know about is the dark Indians, right? You know that, right? That's a whole different race of fucking people, right?
No, it's a mixed race of people.
They not mixed, bro.
Yes, they are.
Some of them.
Paco, they Africans that have
the ones with the white looking black hair. They got all, but it's straight jet black. They got
and they dark as shit, right?
Huh?
And they dark as shit.
Yeah, they dark as fucking shit.
All right, I'm gonna show it to you again. It's
them people older than us, bro.
No, they older than us. Agreed, but they not older than the oldest Africans, because they come from the oldest Africans. That's the point. When you get to 300,000 years ago, even if there is modern day humans before that, when you get to that, those people populated Africa, and as they populated Africa, they spread and went into different parts of Europe, Asia. So when these people
I was talking to people around the world today, like Albanians and African people, they say, yo, black people are really the best people on this fucking planet, bro. They said, we don't say it much, but y'all are.
Yeah, but only place that's not taught is here. Everybody else knows the contributions of Africa. The most common name on earth is Muhammad.
Black niggas. They didn't say nothing about no fucking Africans. They said niggas.
Paco,
American niggas is some of the best fucking people on this fucking planet,
American black people come from Africans.
Oh, God.
You said this yourself. Why do you keep
getting... Yeah,
Paco, let me teach
Paco. Why every time you say something,
Paco, 100,000 years ago, how'd you get here?
We was fucking probably just appeared the fuck here. Who the fuck knows? But
we just appeared.
For my research is different from my thoughts.
You hear this? But I ain't asking you what your thoughts. I'm asking you how you know you was here 100,000 years ago when there's no evidence.
Because I studied, and Niger-Congo speaking people was new people in Africa that they start fucking with and kicking around and shit.
How was they new, Paco, when they got the largest language family in Africa? They got the most speakers.
Because we make fucking languages, idiot. We make
No. All of
Before they
Africa.
stripped us of our knowledge, we made fucking
Jair,
languages.
come get her. All of Africa has languages, Paco. The point is, these are, but Paco, but that's not every language in Africa, dummy.
They got mad languages, just like Indian people spoke the same Hebrew.
All right, hold on. I always tell you where the religion and the soldiers came from when it comes to the Persians and shit. Paco, you know their language come from Africa. You know Semitic language comes from Africa, right?
It probably was created in Africa, yeah.
That means it comes from.
Don't pull her by one arm.
Okay, but that don't mean that.
So what I'm asking you is this: name one language, Paco, where two people come together and they don't take from each other. So these people come from somewhere else, and they ain't had this language when they came from there. How
but
come
everybody you calling them all Africans? That's some fucking fuck shit, man.
It's not fuck shit.
Who you talking
Paco,
about, nigga?
I'm talking about all the black people that we've been talking about this whole time. Even Paco, hold on. Before you cut me off, let me say this real quick. You do know that North Africans even know that Afro-Asiatics are still Africans, correct? You do know that.
I mean, I see white people screaming African now. So,
Paco, because some white people come from Africa. You don't know that?
I was told they conquered South Africa.
No, I'm not even talking about. All right, I can't remember all these different fucking cultures.
The
Tanzanian
Afrikaner people, yeah, they white.
I don't know.
Is that Tanzania? Hold on, I might got the wrong. What the fuck they call it? Tunisia. The Tunisian.
Okay, yeah, that's North Africa. That's where Hannibal from.
Yeah, the Tunisian white people. That's where white people originated from, for real.
I mean, not necessarily, right? Not really. That's where, like, see, this is where you be getting fucked up. You be connecting to all this fucking powerful shit and all this big talk philosophy shit. You got to start to look at. You got to start to look at the smaller shit. You got to start to look at the smaller shit so you can actually know, like, the same way as different white people. Even though we bake their own race games, broke them down into 3 groups. There are different groups, different ethnicities amongst those 3 groups. Now, Africa.
I know how white people came about, unlike you. I actually know. I just be listening to you.
I do too. White people come from.
They came from Tunisia. They were some sick ass niggas.
No, they wasn't. They come from
everything
Neanderthals.
bad under the fucking sun, and they got banished.
They come from Neanderthals mixing with Africans.
Yeah, after the fact, yeah.
No, that's where they originate from. That's why their skin is white, because they come from Neanderthals. That's the only reason it's white. But
those people came from Africa, bro.
No. The Africans came from Africa, correct? The black people.
No, the white fucking people too.
Nah, the white people, Paco, that happened. They populated Europe. That's where they from.
Everything started in Africa.
No,
Why are you questioning me now?
Everything don't start in Africa. Everything start with Africans.
So you can't call them African, but you can call me a fucking African. That's fucking sick.
Paco.
That's sick, bro.
Paco.
Oh, wow.
So I'll say it again. If white people are populating amongst themselves.
Study Queen Europa. Study Queen Europa and what she did to them motherfucking niggas that was out of fucking control. And where she sent them. Was any one woman ever the queen of all of Europe? No. No, she was the queen of Africa, and her name
Paco,
was Queen Europa.
Was one person ever the whole queen of Africa, Paco?
Of North Africa she was.
All right,
and she fucking banished some nut-ass niggas to the Caucasus Mountains.
Was North Africa ever under any one rule? No. We both know that's not true.
But that territory, Queen Europa, all you got to do is do a little research and don't just hit the surface. And you'll realize that she's banished. That's why they fucking praise her now. That's why Europe is called Europe. Idiot.
Paco.
You don't even know why they call Europe.
Paco.
Wow.
Paco. Europe?
Yes, that's why Europe's called Europe, over a black African queen.
Okay.
That's a black African queen, bro.
So how come you continue to give credit to everybody else?
Facts.
So how come you continue to give credit to everybody but Africans?
I just told you she banning some nut niggas to the Caucasus Mountains. I just told you that.
So again,
they was already suffering from leprosy.
So again, when me and you argue about who built Egypt, and I tell you that it was the black people, not the Semitic people who took over. So the Hebrews.
No, the Semitic people was first.
No, they wasn't, Paco.
Well, my science article that I read from actual scientists, it don't matter then.
Paco, think about what you're saying.
They was asking the question. They wasn't for sure.
Nah, but you asking the wrong question. You're asking the wrong question. Because it's clearly, I don't even have to read what he reading.
They said, who discovered Egypt? Was it Africans or Negroes?
I knew it before he even said it. I knew it before he even said it. What he asked was wrong. He's asking the wrong question. The question is not who discovered Egypt. Because I already told him there was hunter-gatherers, Asiatics, Afro-Asiatics, along the riverbed of what would later be called Egypt. But the technology comes from Nubia, which is not Egypt.
But everybody was in Nubia, you fool.
No, not them people. Because Nubia was overpopulated. But Paco.
One second. I gotta click over. Never mind, you don't know.
Not by them people. See, now everybody was in Nubia. How? Nubia marched on them and took their land, but he's saying they was in Nubia.
Was fucking Kush.
Right. And they was Egypt. And before they was Egypt, and before they was Egypt, they was Kemet. And Kemet is so much smaller than Kush. Look how much smaller Kemet is than Kush. They was little niggas to the Nubians. Paco, they was little niggas to the Nubians. It wasn't until other Afro-Asiatics came in with a military that they were able to march the Nubians further, as they would call it, north, down, into what would later be called the Sudan. But at first, look at Kush. Kush is the gigantic blue spot, and Kemet is the...
more than that, yeah.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm not saying what they did or didn't accomplish. What I'm saying is these people, as the story goes, these people were hunter-gatherers along the Nile River of what would later be called Lower Egypt or South Egypt. There were many different tribes, even one called the Fayum. Why is the Fayum so different? Because the Fayum come from Afro-Asiatic and Greek stock, so they were one of the lightest groups along the Nile River. Even though there was 6, 7, 8, 9 different groups of people, different groups of Asiatics who are not the same people along the Nile. Now you get to a certain point that they start to call it Upper Egypt or North Egypt. And guess what you got there?
Niger-Congo speaking niggas shoot.
And guess what you got there? But wait, they not Niger-Congo. I told you this.
Today.
The Nilotic people, they're Nilo-Saharan. They're not us. They're the tallest people on earth. They're the thinnest black people on earth as a population. They're the giants that you see in artwork. They're the pyramid architects.
They got bears and froze?
No.
Okay.
No.
They ain't my niggas. Then they not my niggas.
They're not mine. I said that. I just said that. They're not me. I just said that they're not me.
Oh, simple as that.
The Nubians are, if you want to be correct, are the Nilo-Saharans. They got their own language. It's a
Them
small...
niggas got bears and froze, my cousin.
No, they don't.
Oh, wow.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Paco, they don't have beards and froze. I'm telling you.
The newer ones got the bald faces.
When you start talking about the people groups, no, incorrect. Incorrect. Facial hair is a trait that had to go through generations for one's bloodline to have good.
They get a little
No. Facial hair, Paco, think about it. Let's go back to the beginning of the conversation. You say life starts in Africa. Africa is not a place that's highly conducive to facial hair. Most of the people who brought big facial hair into Africa are Afro-Asiatics. People who come from a place where they can grow. People who come from a place where they grow facial hair, D. Where they grow it on a regular basis. That's why when you look at the Persian statues, what do you always see that Paco loves to talk about? Beards and afros. Because you're talking about Semitic people. Because he don't understand that's hereditary. That's not about a people. You understand? Him and his cousin don't have to have the same amount of facial hair. You know what I'm saying? Him and his cousin don't be, and they cousins, they blood relatives. Him and his brother, if they got different dads, don't have to have the same amount of facial hair. It's hereditary. It's not a people's thing. So to say that a Persian man, right, or even an Afro-Asiatic in Africa, in Kush, in Kemet, in Morocco, any of these places, he could have big beard for days, and his sons can all have big beards. Or he could have a whole bunch of sons who got big beards, and then have one son that don't, and that one son gets shamed.
Right.
Because it's a culture thing that he's talking about. But he's not understanding that the actuality of what your facial hair turns out to be is a genetic thing. You know what I'm saying? That's hereditary. A whole culture of people don't have facial hair. Even all the Irish don't all grow facial hair, and the Scottish, all of them don't have big beards. The famous ones do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying because it was a cultural thing, the father had a big beard. When you start talking about just Scottish and Welsh, the father had a big beard. So for at the times when men was able to sire 60 sons, 40 sons. When you got 40 sons, do you know how many kids you probably had to get 40 fucking sons? There are legends of kings that lived in the past that had hundreds of sons and daughters. Hundreds of sons and daughters. To have 100 kids is astronomical.
Okay.
But some of them niggas had fucking 99 wives. And he don't get it. He don't get it. He don't get that that's the way it works, not the way he think it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep trying to tell you, beards is hereditary, brother.
Bears?
Beards. They're hereditary. They have nothing to do with a race of people.
You be telling me it ain't got nothing to do with phenotypes and shit.
Paco,
You be
it
on
don't.
some
Paco,
other
let's
shit,
do it
bro.
like this. Look at you and look at all your cousins. All y'all don't have the same phenotype because it's hereditary. Most
You
people.
know a nigga when you see one, right?
Paco, that's not true because there's all different types of niggas that have mixed with all different types of non-niggas. So we can't account why all the niggas don't look the same. Now, what you're basing your thing off of beards and afros, I just want to tell you, as a black Americans, let me do it like this. Let me tell you the good part. There is not.
Can you see a difference or no?
As
I'm
far
making
as
shit
black
up.
Americans, there is not a black person on this planet exactly like you.
Some niggas don't grow beards. How about that?
But some black people in America don't have beards.
That's what I'm telling you. Some niggas don't grow
All right,
fucking
so we
beards. If
can't
they
base.
niggas,
We can't.
yeah,
So
you
we.
can tell in they fucking face.
So we can't.
Because if they had a
No,
beard,
but
they didn't
Paco,
have a
that
beard.
don't mean. But Paco, that don't mean that they ain't the same niggas as you. Cause they can't grow a beard. That just says that they dad is not hereditary. A
That's what
person.
I'm telling you. It's not conducive to every fucking person. It's just
But it's not about conduciveness. It's about hereditary genes. Even with people who with base cultures like Persians and Scottish people off of beards, like you saying, those were prominent status symbols. To have a big red beard and be a Scottish general. To have a.
Yeah, but some people can't grow fucking beards. So what that got to do with anything?
My point is this. A man who is the general, a man who is king, a man who is ruler.
In India, the priest gotta have fucking beards, or you ain't no fucking priest, my dude.
I don't know enough about that to speak on it.
All right, well, I looked up the Brahmins. And
Only thing I know is that you, from listening to you think that you both Semitic and Afro-Asiatic and Niger-Congo speaking people, and they two different people. They not the same. They're not the same. Their languages are not the same. Niger-Congo speaking people and Semitic people. They're not the same. Or Afro-Asiatics. Afro-Asiatics are Semitic. The ones in Africa, in the Levant, in the Middle East, they're Semitic peoples. Just like, all right, I do it for you like this. I did this before, but he ain't pay attention to what I was saying. In Mesopotamia, everybody is Semitic. Their language is basically a Semitic language. The Akkadians, the Assyrians, the Babylonians. It's only one group of people there who is what they call a language isolate, not connected to any other language that they know of, and they're not connected to the Akkadians or any other Semitic language. That's the Sumerians. And the Sumerians are dated there first.
The Sumerians are the biggest motherfucking beards and dreads they fucking got out here.
Yeah,
What
but
the
I'm
fuck
not
you
talking
about?
but I'm talking about their language, not the beard, pimp. We
Pimp,
both
they got the longest fucking beards.
Because they merged their culture with the Akkadians. But there is
Oh my God.
but there is pre-merger Sumerian stuff. Sumerian artifacts, Paco, that are pre-merger. We know about the Sumerians' religion before they start fucking with the Akkadians.
You don't hear nobody arguing about their race, bro. The beards is
Paco, that don't have nothing to do with it. A beard and afro don't have nothing to do with it. Don't have nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with genes.
That has nothing.
Paco, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. It's many people all over the world. So let me get this straight. According to your logic, what's them people name? The people over there on the island and shit. The Fijians. They related to the Sumerians because they both got afros.
Possibly, I think so. Yeah.
Paco, how fucking stupid is that? When we know that Jewish white people got afros. What are you talking?
They do. They fucking not white. What the fuck?
Paco, Jewish white people are white.
Oh my
Paco,
goodness.
they're either Caucasoid or they're Eurasian. That's
the
white.
ones with the Jew froze ain't white,
yes, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Paco, do you understand that if you? Oh my God! So let me get this right.
They don't even consider.
Hold on, D. I'm about to put his feet.
Today.
D. I'm about to put his feet to the fire. So the bull, Neon Joe, is not fucking white. Neon Joe had an afro in the movie where he played the cop. He had a Jew fro.
I mean, he probably not all white, but he look white, yeah.
Okay, so now we can stop judging people off of how they look.
I don't.
So why are you judging people's haircut and saying that makes people connected? Paco, no, Paco, that don't make people connected.
Some Africans don't.
Some do though.
Some do.
And some that do ain't related to the people you are. And some that don't are.
I'm going right to the village with niggas and beards and furs. I'm like,
so by your volition, according to you, what's a better way to judge who's connected? Beards and afros or language family?
Phenotype, bro.
So phenotype is a better way to judge connection between different peoples, different ethnicities than language family?
You can be fooled. Some Africans look like niggas.
No. What I'm asking you, okay, so you just admitted that sometimes there is cases where people can be fooled.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so if there are cases,
21 Savage,
can I ask a question?
And shit like that, yeah.
Can I ask a question? Is there ever a case when people can be fooled when it comes to language family?
For sure. You just learn language and I speak Chinese and I get some slanted eyes and shit. Y'all might think I'm Chinese or something.
Do you know what language family means?
It means language family, different languages.
Okay, so if I tell you that all Bantus and all Bantoids and all Atlantics are all Niger-Congo speaking people, but in the same time, I want to tell you that all.
But when they say that to you, they really talking about a group of people. They're not really talking about a language.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. That's how they connected them. Because they have the same. Because they have the same. Because they have the same enunciations in their language. How would two people who never had contact have the same enunciations? That's like Latin, D. D. That's like Latin. D. That's like Latin. That's how we know Spanish, English, and what other ones? Portuguese.
Niggas is Latin, not Latinos. That's what
no, that's not why. That's not why.
Goodness.
That's a language family. Because all of the vowels and consonants are the same. How would they all have the same? And then listen, this would make it even more compelling, D. They all come from practically the same place. The Iberian Peninsula. They all come from the Iberian Peninsula. How come they all speak a different version of the same thing? So when you look at Bantus, We know there was this expansion where they go into Central, South, and West Africa.
They don't even know where land comes from. They said it possibly came from the Levant or whatever you.
No, it don't. No, it come. No. This is how they do, Paco. This is how they know, Paco. This is how. Paco, this is how they know, because those are where. That's where it's predominantly spoken.
That's where the niggas landed at.
No, Paco, think about what you're saying. Paco. So how come there isn't as many speakers of those languages where you saying the niggas come from?
I just told you over here they call us Latin non-Hispanic fucking people. They don't tell you.
No. Do you know what Latin non-Hispanic means?
Black.
No. Oh my God. No, listen, brother. You saying it wrong. It's not Latin. It's white non-Hispanic.
What?
Okay.
Never heard of that.
So let me break it down to you. There are those of people who come from primarily Europeans and Native Americans. Those people are called white Hispanics.
Those are the Native Americans that you refer to every day.
No, those people are called white Hispanics. Now you can go to the same places and find what they call black Hispanics. People who come from Africans and Native Americans primarily. I'm
talking about the niggas in America.
I am too. If we're gonna talk about Latin people, let's first not talk about North America because they have the smallest numbers. No. I'm not saying that. My point is this. There are those of people who come from primarily Europeans and Native American mixins, and then there are those who come from primarily African and Native American mixins. So in Mexico, one place, or in Colombia, one place, in Brazil, one place, you have two different types of Latinos, black ones and white ones, because some come primarily from white people and some come primarily from black people. The argument.
Thanks for the land lesson that everybody knows.
The point is, you're sitting here on this phone saying that those languages come from America.
What? I never said nothing about the language.
Okay, so why are they spoken in America?
South America. I come from South America, brother.
So Latin comes from South America.
Yes, sir.
This is gonna be the worst joint he ever made, yo.
No, it's not. There's no proof otherwise.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Paco, if Latin came from South America. See, that's why I'm saying language family, right? This is why he said he was an Indo-European. This is why I said language family. Because how would your language come from America, but all the rest of its sister languages come from Europe? So if he right, and whatever he talking about, whatever version of Latin, see, he's not even thinking through. So French must come from America too, because they got the same vowels in it.
Rock, where did I tell you niggas come from? South America, right?
First you said Africa, then you said South America.
I'm talking about when they hit America. They niggas started off in South America.
So they only went from South America to North America, is what you're saying?
I'm saying they started off in South America. Actually, North America probably the last populated fucking country in the world.
So let me get this right. All right, and I just want to show you how you don't think things through and you just talk. I can show you off of your statement you just made. So basically, people was in South America, D, for 100,000 years, and they never felt like walking in North America.
No, they was in North America.
But you just said that was the last place populated. But you just said, it don't matter. But you said it was the last place populated. You just said that.
You're making me sound right. You saying what I said.
No, I'm not. I'm saying the complete opposite. You saying that black people was in.
Saying they started in North America?
No, I'm not saying that they started in the Americas at all. You are.
I hope not.
I'm not saying they started in the Americas at all. You saying that Niger-Congo speaking people, which only come from Africa, were in America first. Think about what he's saying.
I never said they was there first. I never said that neither.
So what I'm saying, okay, you said 100,000 years ago, correct?
I think they were.
So you said 100,000 years ago, right?
Huh?
You said your studies tell you 100,000 years ago, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so why would they be in South America 100,000 years ago, but North America was the last place populated? Why wouldn't they just walk into North America? They weren't separated.
It's easier to get to fucking fucking South America than any the fuck where else. It's easier to get to those islands under America, like Cuba and Dominican Republic, than it is to get North America. Because it's easier to get from fucking Canada to then go to fucking North America than it is to go straight to North America.
Paco, I can make one statement that breaks that. I can make one statement that breaks that whole thing down. It's easier depending on where you come from. So depending on where exactly. So your whole argument that you just made, all that idiot shit you was just talking about, it's only
you still can't get to North America before
from where? From where? You're not being specific. So anywhere in the world they're gonna get to South America first?
Or Canada.
But Canada is closer, but Paco, Canada is closer to North America than it is South America.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so what I'm asking you is this. From where? See, you're not being specific because then you got to zero in on...
If you're making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, first you got to have the bread, dog. The middle is the flavor. That's what you start slapping on the fucking bread.
Paco, where are these people... where's these people coming from? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not in the middle of anything. Where is it come? Where are these people coming from, according to you?
What, the North Americans? The North Americans coming from everywhere.
No, we're the people. The first black people in
Cuba.
The first black people in South America. Where they come from?
My opinion is they kind of was indigenous there, but the census say, I mean, Niger-Congo speaking people probably got there first. But I have no proof of that whatsoever.
I mean,
I don't know if they the first had in America. I don't.
I ain't disagreeing with that.
I know that that's where we populated for the longest fucking time.
Where?
South America. And it's super storied in Canada than what you never study. They niggas was all up in Canada.
Yeah, I know.
All up in Canada.
I know this.
Before a white face was seen.
I know. I don't know when they was in Canada. I just know that black people was in Canada. But let's remember this when we speaking about Canada. Canada don't have 30 million people today, so Canada is like nothing compared to the rest of the world. So when we look at Africa, right? Of the billion people in Africa, right? 700 million are Niger-Congo speaking people. Now all the rest of the people make up the 300 million, including Semitic speakers. Egyptians. Look at Egyptians, and when they tell you they Semitic speakers, why are you surprised? They look like Persians. They look like Middle Eastern.
You want me to put on a fucking towel and cut my hair bald, nigga?
Nah, I don't want you to do none of that. I just want you to understand that just because people did some shit, Paco, and if you actually study harder and stop trying to beat down certain groups of people, you will see that all that technology really come from black people, Paco. Black and brown people.
I've been told you that. That's not a thing to me.
Paco, you're not an Afro-Asiatic. Last time we was on the phone, you told me you the conqueror, not the conqueree. You're wrong about that.
I said I'm both. I don't get that.
You're not, but how can you be both? They're not both the same people.
You can be both, bro.
How? How can one person today be both?
Because they fucking...
How can you be the Babylonians and the Canaanites? How can you be the Babylonians and the Canaanites? How can you be the Hyksos and the Egyptians?
Because they probably the same fucking people that was fucking going to war with each other, maybe?
Paco, why would they be the same people if they already had kingdoms established? With borders, with militaries?
Africans capture other Africans. Niggas capture other...
Why was Africans capturing other Africans? Because the people you claiming to be was paying them to. Tell the story straight.
Excuses for them, huh?
Tell the story. No, I ain't not making excuses. I'm damning the people you claim to be. Because they came in with, just like he a Moor, right, D? Just like he a Moor, but he a Hebrew Israelite. Do you know that 95% of all Moors are Muslims? The Moorish fucking culture was Muslim. They empire come from Muslims.
They invented that, you fucking...
I'm with you. Man. I'm with you. So why are you trying to be a Hebrew Israelite and a Moor?
Because Moors was Hebrew Israelites too.
Paco, after everything...
They is today.
after everything, so you gonna rock with what's going on today?
Even the Christian the Christians tell you that they came from the fucking Moors.
Paco, we both know that's not the case.
The Israelites tell you they were just fucking Moors. That's what they religion.
Paco, we know that they stole the religion from them, not that they come from them. Stealing one's religion don't make you part of that people.
Listen, Israelites is fucking Canaan, dog.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah, and what did Canaanites believe? Did they believe what Hebrew Israelites believe? No.
No, because they're just religions. They're just religions, Rob.
No, so Paco, why would two of the same people have two different religions?
Because they do.
No, Paco, do the religions come from the same place?
No, dog. Somebody invent a new language and roll out on the other ones.
Paco, they're not the same people.
Oh my God, man.
Paco, Islam come from...
Who do you think created religion, dog? Like, who the fuck you think
Africans!
Oh God.
The Yoruba religion is older than every religion you talk about, including the Indian shit.
But you calling that a religion?
No, exactly. You're right, and I'm not right for calling it a religion. But I want to say something. Like you said, today religion is defined by having gods in it. There are over 40 gods in the Yoruba religion. They started the pantheons
because they had a lot of fucking people that they praised.
No, because they had a lot of different groups of people.
That's ancestral worship.
Nah, Paco. No, I agree with you that they're not gods the way Christianity and them say they're gods. We agree. I'm with you. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but in the way you what you saying, right? The Egyptians can't be considered religion either, because theirs was based the same way. The Greeks was based the same way. The Indian people you talk about, the Vedics, it was based the same way.
Created religion.
Who?
Niggas.
Agreed. Black people in Africa created religion. There's no argument there. Now here's the difference, D. The reason why they tell you, like I said this to him before, the reason why they tell you religion starts in India is because that's where Semitic religions start.
Yes.
That's not all of the world's religion. That's just Semitic.
It's not. But that's what we follow even today.
No, that's what white people follow because that's who they stole it from. Not everybody else. So yes, the people you claiming to be, the Levant Asiatics, Afro-Asiatics, and the Europeans, they have to say that we got it from Semitic people because they did, and some of them are Semitic people. But the black people in Africa don't have to say that. The black people in Asia and Australia don't have to say that because their legends.
The original black Jews is from India, bro.
No, Paco, they're not Jews. Listen,
I'm not saying original, but that's where
their religion originates from. I understand what you're trying to say.
That's where it started, bro.
That's where listen, just the same way, the same way the Christians stole from the Hebrew Israelites and the Muslims. The Hebrew Israelites and the Muslims stole from the Zoroastrians. The Zoroastrians stole from the Vedics. It's as simple as that.
Peacock people stole from the Vedics, yeah.
Right, the Iran and Turkey people, the Zoroastrians.
Absolutely.
Correct. And then the Hebrew Israelites and the Muslims stole it from them. It's the same thing. Think about what I'm saying to you, Paco.
All of it stole from Hinduism. Do you understand?
All the Semitic religions. We agree there. But the other religions that are not Semitic religions don't come from the Indians.
And they still Hinduism.
No, they're not.
And they still Hinduism.
Paco, Hinduism comes from African religion. Not
Buddhism is Hinduism. Let's be real, bro.
What is it?
Nonsense, bro.
What is it?
Even Buddhism from fucking Hinduism.
Buddhism does steal things from Hinduism, correct?
For sure.
But it's not the same thing because they don't have any gods. It's different. But
I'm just trying to make a point that all
I understand what you're saying.
Same shit.
No, all those religions from, what did I just tell him earlier? I said Semitic people or Afro-Asiatics have a run after Africans leave Africa and they go into the India region, into the Levant, into Asia. They start to mix and mingle with Mongoloids. Different African groups mix with different Mongoloids. The people that come back towards Africa and Europe are one of two peoples. They're either Mongols or they're Afro-Asiatics. The Afro-Asiatics came back before the Mongols was ever a thing. Thousands of years before
they took over the damn Mongols.
They took but that's 10,000 years after what I'm talking about. I'm
Okay.
talking about when people start to leave. I'm talking about when people start to leave Africa. Africans leave Africa. They start to go into the Levant, into the Middle East, into Asia, into India. They encounter Mongoloids in
I
these
keep
places.
telling you that story so laid out. It's a shame. It's so laid
They
out.
discover
Bro.
Mongoloids in these places, right, Dick? After these Mongoloids propagate amongst themselves, they start to come back the opposite direction, towards Europe. Now, as they come back towards Europe, they coming from the Iran-Turkey area, like he's saying. Now, the people of the Iran-Turkey area, their ancestors migrated from India. Now, the people who went into India and brought religion there are Africans. And they have nothing to do with what he's talking about. The people
was there too.
the people who come back, they still there. The people who come back this way and start your Zoroastrianism, start your Hebrew, your Judaism, start your Islam, the people who start your Baha'ism, all the Abrahamic faiths. Think about what I'm saying, D.
Okay.
Zoroastrianism is prevalent in Iran, Turkey area, right? Well, what else is there? Mesopotamia, Babylon. Think about what the book says, the Christian book or the Judaism book. What does it say? The king of Babylon was told by God to wipe out the Canaanites because the Canaanites was in place before these people ever came this way. So they was called a vassal of Egypt. That was Egypt's
Why
little.
do you think we're being punished, bro?
We not being punished. This is happening because bad people are in power. That's why this is happening. And now other people who are coming into